Shut the fuck up when you had makeup sex. Hi, Albert Emanuel, community parship and health pain management coach from the Alela Bio Yoga nonprofit organization. Why am I saying this with such impact? And why do I think, in my humble opinion of as a researcher and as a therapist, that this rule should be kind of engraved, almost tattooed into your bodies? It is a very natural reconnection when we had a strong fight, yeah, like a storming phase. We kind of came into the space of the other. It was too much. The limits were overthrown. Our reptile programs were in alarm. We had a fight with each other. One of us got hurt. Otherwise, it doesn't actually work, or very often both get hurt. But one was more dominant. One was more, drawing back. Both are hurt. Both are like in this. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to give each other space. Maybe we have even time to do this with a third person, a third party, or a program, an app. And let's say we were kind of successful. One symptom of success is usually when our emotions are worked out through pain, desperation, anger, into sorrow. When tears are running, usually the process is done, and usually one of the two will start crying first, and if the other can hold space and not go away in this space, yeah, do not run away from tears. And it's not necessarily always the man that runs away from tears, but it is a fact that men cannot deal with sorrow so well, and women cannot deal so well with anger. So here we have again anger as fire, water as sorrow, and when we have come to the point where somebody is crying, usually the fight is over, and then a very natural wanting to be together, yeah, especially if the one who cries feels seen and heard, feels that something has actually touched the other, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, yeah. And if this very, very sacred space is not used in too much revenge power, so in the sense, you've hurt me and now I'm not letting you near me anymore, yeah, or if the hurt has been too big and you cannot come near, then this takes time, or sometimes it just takes just a few minutes, sometimes an hour, sometimes the ways have to be separated and they come back, but there will be this urge to come and connect together. Usually this ends in makeup sex, what we call makeup sex, yeah, which is wonderful, deep. It goes really into this endless longing of wanting to be together again, overcoming this separation, this schisma, where the angel or where the angel and the dragon have fought a little, and now the feeling of heaven and oneness is connected with a deep desire and a biological program. Yeah? We should not fight each other. We should procreate. Yeah? The pack needs the bonding, and it needs also the next generation. So there's where they meet, where the biological system and this, I would say, like the high cosmological system, in the sense of everything is one, everything comes into an order of harmony, they work together the most. But after the pain, yeah? The pain kind of creates the desire for pleasure. What happens when this sex is really good and sweaty, and you kind of feel that everything is possible again, our egos come back. We feel like we can do anything, we can rule anything, and we also feel that we can manipulate / communicate issues that were not touched upon in the in the fight, or aspects that needed to also be part of the argument into the field. We kind of tend to after the makeup sex, and I hope I kind of triggered not too many women here, but it is a tendency of the female. We have already talked about this in other videos. In its expansion to go into words and to try to heal everything that is still unhealed. It's a very also biological, natural instinct. Yeah, we feel good. We are nourished. Now let's check our bodies and souls if there are still some wounds that need attention. Naturally, we always look at our wounds first. Some people who are already advanced, they will ask, are you good? Are we good with each other? Is there something we need to keep looking at? And even if you feel there is a wound that needs healing, do not touch it right away. And I tell you why. The reason why, even in our best intention, talking about painful events after the makeup sex is often a self-destructive program in which all the pain comes back and all the makeup sex was for the shits, is that we are so fucking vulnerable after makeup sex. We are going into the mode of the child that was abandoned by mommy and papi, and with the sex has come back. The man is going back into the womb of his mother. The woman feels embraced and protected by her father. It's our inner children screaming for, oh God, please never let this stop. But we still feel we are hurt. So we want this mommy and this papi to take care of it. Except mommy and papi have left the building. We are talking to little, innocent, and very, very, very helpless children to fix problems that they cannot. So naturally, we are overwhelmed with this. Can we please not talk about this? This was so great. Why are you bringing this into the field? And the reason is I'm not bringing it to kind of dominate you. I'm bringing it because I want this beautiful feeling to expand. There is a biological program of domination that runs all the time. We have talked about this in many videos, and we know it's a program, right? So let's not give it too much attention. Yeah? And especially, like also Tony Robbins always says, do not put malintent into it. However, if you bring some kind of pain into this sacred space of makeup, of vibration after makeup sex, the natural reaction will, why are you destroying this? Why are you doing this? We had it so beautiful. Why do you have to bring this in? So even though we know our children will always find something that needs to be healed, we will never be satisfied. The victim mode always finds something, especially if it was quite hurtful, that it remembers in the paradise mode. Yeah. And here to be a good grown-up inside and have control over this chatterbox that just says and just needs to talk because it needs to talk, because it needs to express everything that is inside and needs to heal as much as possible, to shut the fuck up. And knowing that this need for healing will be answered later, ideally in a reoccurring meeting, in a reoccurring facilitation, something that we constantly recommend for every couple to have is not only the talk in between them, but also a talk with a therapist, a spiritual guide, somebody who maybe even sealed this bond, the person, the priest, the priestess, who are not only in charge, at least not in the Alela system, just for the ceremony, but are there as counsel. And the men group and the women's group, who have, and that's important, who have an obligation, or the idea of this group is to make the partner, the woman and the man understand how they, of course, are part of this inner child program, but also are part of the perpetrator program, so that they can understand why the other one reacts the way he reacts, which is why we always recommend also for the woman to go and find a counsel of the male perspective, and the woman to find and the man to find a counsel in the female perspective. How does a woman react, and is this natural? And very often you will see these are very general programs. Yeah, and the inner child that needs that extra healing will have its satisfaction later, in a time where we are well slept, where we are in the middle. Yeah? Not seldom our wanting to make up happens in the night, when we cannot sleep, when things are just going, we are growing distant a little, and in the night sometimes seems a good opportunity, and sometimes it is a wonderful way to really go into this process of healing, really go into this emotional process if you have the time, and ideally then go into the makeup sex. Wonderful. Yeah, everything happens in the shadows of the night. Nobody is nobody's bothered, nobody sees, nobody hears. It is something between us. But if this process takes 3 to 4 hours, and after the makeup sex we still cannot hold our mouth shut, another process is triggered, and then we wake up with lines under our eyes and are super triggered the whole day. We don't want that. We want sleep and regeneration taking place as much as possible, and our reptile programs will work against that. Yeah? So, wrapping it up, you have makeup sex, you don't say anything that could be only remotely connected to pain. You just praise the time. You go to sleep, or you go to separate chambers to sleep. Yeah? No cuddling. We had enough cuddling. There was more than enough cuddling. It happened before the sex. It happened after the sex. Separate. Go into your chambers. Man into his men's room, women into a women's room. I'm not talking about the toilet. I'm talking about the spot where you have your little temple in your house, and regenerate your everything that was, and integrate. And then find during the day, in the next day, a possibility, if there is still something missing, where we can repeat the process, ideally ending again in sex. The sex is so important for the biological system, or for the inner child, to really know it is real that we are connected. It is super real. But be aware of this very delicate time afterwards. If you can manage to create a discipline with a game or with somebody else outside, really monitoring whether you can actually hold your mouth shut. I invite you to check whether your constant harmony level is rising with this discipline, with this practice. And if it is not, please write it in the comments. And if it is, please also write it in the comments and give us our best ways how you maintain this discipline, because it is one of the key helpers in maintaining a healthy relationship where emotions can run and sexual energy actually does its work. It heals and it brings together. Thumbs ups and likes if this video was helpful. Please forward it to all the platforms where relationship crisis and pain relationships is needs extra input and help. And contact us if you want to be part of our Theater of the Soul program for woman and man in the Tantra Leila Love Academy. See you then. Ave Demanio. Bye bye.